This film also had the creepiest Santa. And you can,
oh my god, yes!
I'll pick Andrew Garfield. Peter 3.
Peter 3. Look, I put that up.
Ooh, that comic book filter.
This green ball?
This green tennis ball is Vecna, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I didn't see it, but I know what you're talking about.
Hello, Cinema Peeps.
Hey, Cinema Peeps.
It's been a hot minute. It feels weird to say that.
It literally is a hot minute. I don't know what the temperature's like in Calgary for you, but it's hot over here.
Supposedly it's only
September,
22.
it's hot.
Yeah, supposedly it's only 22, but when we were out, I was like, I was really toasty.
Right?
I
It feels
was
warmer than 22.
Toasty. Mm-hmm. Well, it was 30 yesterday.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be really cool tomorrow, but then after that, it's back up to 30.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's supposed to be September, but I guess not. It's extended summer.
Right? Extended summer. I like that. I like that. Honestly, I won't complain. As long as we can have some nice weather to, keep us going until the colder months. Like, I always hate it when it's just, like, dreary leading up to winter, and then it's, like, just awful after that. Also, I apologize for the sirens in the back. I got my window open, so... woot, woot.
It's really funny, because Kendra always apologizes, but, like, I'll never hear it as we record, but then when we edit, I'm like, oh, that's what she was talking about.
The mic will pick it up, but Zoom won't.
But yes, it's been a hot minute, Cinema Peeps. I hope you missed us lots. But yeah, we had a very busy summer. We hope you all had a busy summer. And so we decided we were finally less busy. No, we're always busy. But we decided we really wanted to get on here to talk about Deadpool and Wolverine. Because I have so much Wolverine stuff, and yet I can't see anything around my desk.
I'm surprised. Don't you have a Wolverine shirt?
I have a shirt, I have a plushie, I have... Oh, here we go. I was like, I gotta have something by my desk that I can reach for.
Yeah, there we go.
I have an old promotional Deadpool figure. Actually, I have two Deadpool figurines from the first two movies. Kendra finally saw it this weekend. I saw it when I was away with visiting family. And so now that we've both seen it, we're gonna chat about it.
Woot. Oh, yeah.
Would it be a podcast without a yawn?
Without a yawn, right?
Yeah, I don't know if you had any expectations going into the film, but I tried to keep mine very low. Even though I did enjoy the first Deadpool movies, I just the rate Marvel's been going at lately, I was just like, you know what? Let's keep that expectation low to the ground.
Right?
Let's just keep it low.
Right? I mean, the only expectation I really had was just, I guess, because it's Ryan Reynolds and you know what you're getting when you're watching Ryan Reynolds. That's probably the only expectation I really had. I did my very best to not get any spoilers, and I'm honestly impressed. I don't know if you saw any other ones, like, after you'd seen it or even beforehand, but, like, I was very impressed with the minimal amount of spoilers that I got, or saw. The only one I saw prior to seeing the movie was knowing that Chris Evans was reprising his role from the Fantastic Four character. So that was the only one I saw. I didn't see any other spoilers for anything.
I don't think I really saw any. I mean, I barely even watched a lot of, like, it had quite a few, like, trailer releases always, like, on Instagram. They play it. And I think I only watched one or two from, like, Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. So, like, for the most part, I was pretty spoiler safe. But I literally, after I watched the movie, it was like an onslaught of articles are being fed to me. And I was like, bejeebus.
Right.
I had articles about how the guy who played Pyro in the movie, how he might be coming back in something or his own spin-off or something. And I was like, what is happening right now?
Okay.
But anyways, before I get into my thoughts about that, let's talk about the film. Did you enjoy it, Kendra?
I did. I went and saw it with my dad.
Ooh.
Because he also enjoys the Deadpool movies. So we went and just had a nice movie night together. And yeah, we both really liked it. It was funny. And I think the best part too is that him and I had just watched the the Furiosa movie,
Mm.
like I think technically last week.
Yeah.
So he wanted to watch it because it was on TV, so he recorded it, and he started watching it, and then I ended up like sitting in and starting to watch it with him as well. And then it was just one of those movies where it was so bad, but you couldn't look away. Like it was like this movie isn't necessary. Like the story is not necessary, but I can't stop watching it for some reason. And so after that, and then they make a remark about it in the Deadpool movie. So him and I were laughing about that. That was pretty funny.
It definitely had a lot of Mad Max vibes, especially when they
really
got
did,
to the about to call it the Abyss, but that's not what it's called.
Not purgatory, but
yeah, but
the
along
limbo
those,
kind of thing.
Yeah, that was introduced in Loki, which I was actually surprised like how much that was from. So I mean, I've seen Loki season 1. I haven't seen season 2, so I don't know if there's anything that I was missing. But I was also, like I've said, I've been having Marvel fatigue, so I haven't caught up with anything. But I figured was pretty safe watching Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
So I did enjoy that one comment they made about, because I did remember that monster thing that was in season 1, and Deadpool, like, does his fourth wall breaking. Wow, that thing, from Loki season 1 episode this, and I was like, yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you, because it is very ridiculous, ridiculous.
But yeah, overall, it was a fun time. I appreciate. I think as probably other people would say too, I appreciate Deadpool for the non-seriousness of it. It's like just so much fun. They make fun of everything, and you're not really sure. Like honestly, like I was thinking about it while watching the movie. I'm like, what really is the point of all this? Like, there really is no. But it's just a fun movie to watch. Like they obviously explain a couple of things. It's nice to like have Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine. But yeah, overall, it's a movie where you really don't need to focus too much on anything. It's just a lot of fun. Right?
So, sorry, I think I do remember seeing one article before seeing the movie, and that was that Jennifer Gardner and Wesley Snipes was going to be in the film.
Oh, you did see that?
I did see that article about her being Elektra, and
yeah, I didn't see that at all, so that was a shock to me.
But I mean, what an amazing... I mean, there were so many, even like that opening thing with like all the old X-Men characters. That's why when I messaged you, I was like, we literally watched the first 2 Deadpool movies and then like ran into town to see this movie. But I was like, fuck, I should have been watching the OG X-Men again. But I mean, it was just so nice. I was like, oh, I remember that guy. Oh my god, I was all flooding back. I was like, oh, this is so lovely. Like the kind of nostalgia rush that like I want. I was like, this is beautiful. I love this.
Yeah.
And again, like you said, like it doesn't take itself too seriously. So it's so funny that they're all technically in this limbo, graveyard, because nothing ever happened with their characters after maybe 1 or 2 films,
Yep.
So just making fun of that, and then with Chris Evans coming back as, Johnny, that was so funny. I saw it with my cousins, and he was like getting really excited. So I was like, well, he's not Captain America, and I could just hear my cousin. He's only like 2 seats down. And he's just like, oh my god, it's Johnny! It's Johnny! I was just like, oh my god, Johnny Storm. So I was like, holy fucking shit.
Nice.
It was a fun experience. I will say, I don't know if it's just small town vibes, but the person behind me was very annoying.
Oh, really?
Which I know that adds when you see a movie, sometimes the people around it. But something about Deadpool movies, they all think they can commentate. And I'm like, everyone shut the fuck up.
It is funny too, like, I did notice, maybe not so much that, but like, and I guess everyone's sense of humor is different, but there was a lot of people laughing at very weird moments in the movie. I was like, and not just like, ha ha ha, but they were like cackling, and I'm like, I'm like, okay, like I don't get it, but alright. Someone's a big fan of like violence apparently and thinks it's hilarious,
Right.
Like,
well, I mean, spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it, but it has been out for about a month and a bit, so sorry, not sorry, I guess. But I mean, there's that whole opening with him using Wolverine's like body to like fight off the Time Bureau people. That was and then 2 like in sync. Like it was just
it was
hilarious.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was so funny. So that's how I knew, like, after that opening, I was like, it's gonna be a good time. I know it. I mean, I think the story was okay. I didn't care much for like the beginning stuff, but I think it obviously was leading to like the events to the movie, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it was like, oh, he's not dating, that girl anymore. He's doing this now. He tried to be an Avenger. I don't know if he might be an Avenger in the comics. I'm not 100% sure. But I think he's also, I think he might have been. I think he's like a member who just kind of helps out, but he's not a permanent fixture.
Okay.
In the Avengers. So like having him be interviewed, which I guess, fun fact, they were actually trying to get Robert Downey Jr. to be part of that sequence, but
oh yeah,
he was too busy or something. But I mean, they then just turned it around and they're like, well, we'll have Happy and then we'll still poke fun at the fact, at the fact that he's not there.
He's like, well, what? He doesn't do cameos?
Right? So like
Yeah.
it was still like, again, you work with what you have, and it was really funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just kind of thought all that was a little weak sauce. I was like, I don't really care. But then once it was like, oh, I have to find the Wolverine. He's the fix point. He has to save my world and stuff like that. So
yeah, that was interesting.
After that, I was like, okay, cool. But like some of the beginning bits, I was like, I just could care less.
Right? Yeah, it kind of dragged on a little bit, but I know because I did see the interview with Ryan and Hugh, that the Hot Ones one where
Oh,
they were
yeah.
like eating the wings and everything, and he was explaining how the kind of theme around the movie was about friendship and that kind of stuff. And so I guess that, again, that would probably be another expectation I had going into the movie, was just like, okay, this movie's about them as friends. And so I guess I thought it would be a little bit, not that it wasn't, but I thought there'd be a bit more of like kind of like a deeper connection to like their whole relationship, and it just kind of seemed still very surface level, obviously because he's not the same Wolverine, but I don't know.
Right, so I wonder if they were just like, hey, we have an opportunity to like not do a reset essentially, but yeah, since it's not technically the same Wolverine that he would be technically interacting with, but a totally different one with his own story, like yeah, I really enjoyed that. I mean, I also enjoyed the sequence where they all he found all the different Wolverines and all the different variants of the Wolverines.
Right.
And again, I did recognize some, but I think I watched a video later of like all the references to like different comics, so it's like they truly care about it. It's not just willy-nilly, even though they work hard to make it feel effortless, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
And be appreciative of the source material, which is really great.
Definitely.
So yeah, bringing back all the X-Men characters I thought was really funny, and just like, yeah, all these like quote-unquote forgotten characters, and then they brought back the girl from Logan, because yeah, I was just like, they did that one movie and then they're like, goodbye.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember, like maybe I'm crazy and I totally might be. I thought they were going to do more stuff with her character, but again, it was maybe just left on the cutting room floor. Like, again, maybe I'm just spitballing, but I feel like I must have heard something, but I could be totally wrong.
I feel like I probably maybe just thought that they were going to do something with her in the New Mutants series. But maybe they didn't, because I never watched it, so.
Oh, sorry, I know this is very off topic. I cannot stress to you, Kendra, how much you should not watch New Mutants. And it's not even like a joke of like, haha, it's so bad. It's just bad.
Ooh, okay.
It is so bad. To be fair, I think I maybe talked about this maybe on a podcast or like a Talkie Tuesday, or when we did. Because I think I did talk about it way back in the day.
Yeah, I do recall you talking about it, yeah.
And so I remember like, I remember that movie being so bad. So bad. But I remember also looking up like how much production issues it had, and I think that really hindered the film quite a lot.
Damn.
So, yeah, sorry. Random tangent. Don't watch it. Absolutely don't watch it.
Noted, okay.
But yeah, I don't know how. And I mean, there could have been a plan to have her be maybe included in that, but with what the finished product I know of what they produced, I don't know how they would have incorporated her in, but
yeah,
maybe earlier drafts of the film had something different in mind.
But
yeah, I thought that was all really good. I love Hugh Jackman, so like no notes. Perfect. Flawless.
Flawless performance.
Flawless performance. But yeah, so I am curious about maybe, again, I know, like I said, you don't have to watch like Loki and stuff, and I think they said the main villain guy who worked at the Time Bureau, I think he's a new character. So I don't think
Paradox or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think he's in the show, but I could be wrong. So I haven't watched season 2, so maybe I'll get around to watch season 2 at some point. I don't know.
Nice.
But I enjoyed it. Sorry. My overall thought is I really enjoyed it. It was really funny. I couldn't get that Madonna song out of my head at all for like the next couple days.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'd seen it in the trailer, so it's kind of just like meh. But then like seeing the actual scene where it's from, you're just like, it just hit a lot different.
Right?
And I was like, now I have the connection. This is great.
Right? And honestly, there was lots of good music in the movie too. Like Huey Lewis in the news. They had the Grease song and like
literally not sitting and I heard I was like, Kendra's gonna love this. Every time. If it plays on the radio, I'm like, it's for you, Kendra.
Hell yeah.
For you. And then I really thought it was very sweet. They did that touching little like memorial video.
That was
in the
cute
credits.
at the end. Yeah.
I almost cried. I was like, oh. I was like, that's so beautiful. I was like, wow. Because I guess technically, because they were all under Fox, and I guess Fox is no more technically. So
yeah,
to have this, weird tribute in a way in a Deadpool movie, Yeah. But it was so beautiful, and I was like, well, how wonderful.
It was definitely a good way to honor the rest of the series, because I feel like, other than the big fans of the X-Men and stuff like that, I feel like sometimes, I think you were saying earlier, like they kind of get like forgotten and like shoved to the side compared to all the other Marvel movies that have been kind of like been in the spotlight lately. And like I was telling you the other day, like I went back to go watch the original X-Men movies. I only made it through the first one, but I do want to go back and like watch the rest of them again, because I did really like all of them, like even the ones that with Michael Fassbender and James McAvoy and stuff like that. Like they were all really good. And I mean, everyone has their opinions on the Wolverine origins, but other than like what the stuff that they botched, I thought Hugh Jackman did a really good job in that one. Like it was interesting to learn like how he became Wolverine.
And I mean, what's my thought process? Yeah, I think I've already told you, but I haven't told the people. I've kept saying all summer how I want to do like another big marathon of all the X-Men films, because again, speaking of like the Michael Fassbender ones and James McAvoy, I never watched the Dark Phoenix one they did, which was kind of like the last one they did, which people panned really hard. But I'm gonna say this, okay? Over the summer, me and my friend have been watching the old X-Men cartoon show. It's been a blast. It's so cheesy, it's so 90s, but like I love it, and I like making fun of it a lot. But like that's part of the charm. I love it. But I guess they're really, and again, maybe just because it's the format of a TV show, so they have more time to like expand on these stories. So I remember hearing like their coverage, their take on the whole Phoenix saga, this epic thing, that everyone always talks about, and that apparently they butch all the time. In X-Men 3, they kind of did it, and people said they hated it. Nobody likes it, I guess. Like, no one has done it, quote unquote, justice. But I watched the cartoon version. I watched all 8 fucking parts of it. Or no. The first part was 8 parts. The other part was 5. So, like, 13 fucking parts of this story. And I'm going to be real honest with you. No one's going to do it justice. Because I never knew how much the X-Men were in space. This series, they're in space all the goddamn time. I'm like, why are the X-Men in space? This is crazy. And like, I don't want to bore you too much, but like, there's this whole thing where like she gets the Phoenix because it's like this guardian of like in the universe, and that's how she receives it. So the Phoenix essentially is another entity, but it's a space entity, and they all have to use it to fight off the evil aliens. And then Jean sacrifices herself so everyone can live, but somehow she is alive, and then she comes back, and then the Phoenix is like, I like being in this body and being on Earth. I was alone. I was by myself. I hated it. So I'm taking over Jean's body. It's mine. And then she's evil for a while. And then everybody's hunky-dory afterwards. So I'm going to be real honest. A big part of me wanting to redo this marathon is, again, I want to watch the James McAvoy take on the Dark Phoenix. And I want to rewatch it because again, I just remember people really hating on how they couldn't do the storyline right, and I'm like, guys, the story is whack. All right, like I'll have to do even more research and like dive down, but like from what I understand, the cartoon show like does it pretty good, like it does it justice, and I'm like, and if that's the case, I don't know how anybody was gonna translate that into film, like legitly. There's no way, and especially because I know X-Men wasn't like the first superhero movie, but like to me it was the like apart from Spider-Man, it was the next big one. So I think they came out roughly the same time, the first Spider-Man and the first X-Men film. And to me, like, those were the big ones.
Yeah.
And they were really trying to win people over.
Mm-hmm.
So if you start talking about some fucking space shit on top of them, like being mutants and like trying to get audience to understand that, it was never going to work.
Right.
So to be like, again, that's why I kind of want to rewatch it, like re-critique it, because I truly think they probably didn't do as bad as a job that I think they did. I think they adapted to what they needed to, you know, use to tell the story. But yeah, that's why I really want to do a marathon again. Like I want to rewatch them. They're all so good.
Right.
Sorry, we've been getting so slightly off topic. But
that's okay. Honestly though, like just to kind of wrap up what you were saying there, I think it's true though. I think that like that's the trickiest part with like crossing platforms over. Like obviously like with any comic book series, you can do whatever the hell you want because it's a comic book and you can just like you don't have you can bend the laws of time and everything, right? Whereas trying to fit all that into like an hour and a half, 2 hour, 3 hour movie, it's a little bit difficult. You have there's all these other elements that you have to consider too, right? Or even like TV series, which is why sometimes TV series is the better option because you have more time to like flesh that out.
God, I would love an X-Men TV series. Oh, if they're gonna greenlight everybody to have one, give one to the X-Men.
Right?
I mean, I know they technically did because the cartoon series it ends after 5 seasons, and this year, I think it was early March, it came out. X-Men 97 just came. Well, I say just came out, but again, it came out in March, which is technically like the unofficial like the continuation of the show because it left off in 1997.
Yeah.
Hence the title, so I am excited to watch that as well. But yeah, sorry, getting back to Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah, there were so many good bits, so many good gags. Yeah, I think my only critique is just like, I found the beginning like a little bit. I think you nailed it, like maybe a little too long. Like I get like that we were getting to the point, and maybe him not having Vanessa in his life at that time would help. Because I mean, it wasn't not just her. Like he was helping like all of his friends, you know. So then the story could be more focused around him and Wolverine. Just thought it was a little bit,
Well,
it just took a while,
right? I guess that's probably why they did it that way, is because they had to give him some motivation to do it, right? Like, in our minds, obviously, it's like, oh, yeah, hell yeah, he's gonna do it, because he always makes fun of Wolverine, and, like, blah, 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 but he's technically, as far as we know, or at least that I know, he's not ever officially met Wolverine, other than that one, the Origins movie, right? And I'm assuming he's technically not, like, the same character as that version of him?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, they had to have some sort of motivating factor to get him to
right, which is fine. I guess, I think, to be fair, it's more of a critique when any movie does that. Like, another one I was thinking of is, like, Fantastic Beasts, where it's, like, they wrap up, and it's like, okay, the two characters are at least, like, they're together, or, like, they're starting a journey together, and then by, like, the next movie, they're like, oh, we don't talk about that person. They had a falling out. Yeah. And then you have to spend the whole fucking movie to find out what this falling out was, just to be like, I'm sorry, you just didn't communicate with each other? How fucking stupid.
Yeah, right.
To be fair, that's, like I said, that's a critique for any movie does that with a relationship. Deadpool and Wolverine are not the only ones who fucking do that. So many. And it's just, I'm gonna tell you right now, writers, stop it.
Just stop it.
Find another motivation. I don't care what it is, but just don't let it be that. Like, there's, like, to me, there's so many milestones in a relationship. You can pick anyone. Maybe they have anxiety of, like, oh, we want to take the next step. maybe we have kids, or maybe it's the discussion, do we want to start a family, or do we want to be together? Like, I don't know. Just like fucking anything else, okay? Like anything fucking else. And yeah, I guess my other annoyance, because like you said, like there were so many articles that were popping up. And what I really liked again about, I think, to be fair, it's kind of the same with the first two Deadpool movies. They just kind of tell one story, wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
That is it.
Yeah.
You know? And I felt like this was a nice little wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
You know? You end, Wolverine's gonna stick around in his universe. He's gonna, you know, maybe be a father figure or maybe a friend to X-23, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like this, you know, very nice wrapped up ending. I don't need anything more. Like it seems like he's gonna try to maybe talk to Vanessa again. Like, awesome. And so like I am happy with this. It's a nice one, and maybe just because again, yeah, there's just been, you know, so many like, oh, you have to watch this one on the TV show, and it's like it's just one story, and I like it.
Right.
But of course, there's now been articles after articles of like another one, and I was like, can we not just be happy for like?
Right.
I know it's hard, but
Yeah.
can we be happy for 10
Once
seconds?
you give them the taste, it's like, we want more.
I know, and that's why I said like there was the articles of like different like the Pyro guy maybe making another appearance in the Marvel universe, which again, that would be cool. Like these actors deserve it. And then there was another one. To be fair, I didn't read it because I'll be honest, I don't read articles anymore. They're a waste of my fucking time. I'm usually reading 3 paragraphs of just lead up, and I'm like, huh?
Right?
If I did this in school, I would legitly fail. Like, what are you
they
talking?
need to have that button that they have for like Pinterest recipes where you can jump to the recipe and not have to like.
I don't want to hear
know?
your backstory of this recipe. Just let me just jump to what I want to know.
Yeah.
Honestly, we need more of that. But yeah, after I saw the movie, I kept getting articles about how Halle Berry wanted to be like part of it or something. Or I think
was wondering about that because
I
like,
think there's a confusion. I think it was like she said that she wasn't asked to come, and but I think the idea was that I think someone was like, "Oh, would you come back as Storm?" And she's like, "Yeah, absolutely," but like they didn't ask me, so it wasn't like they asked. And like again, it was very unclear. I think it was just like she would be down.
Yeah,
they just didn't ask her, and to me, the whole movie was about the misfits and the forgotten ones.
Yeah,
like don't get me wrong, like they all act like. I would love I would love Halle Berry to come back as Storm any day of the fucking week. But like the whole thing with all those characters, you know, with Chris Evans coming back as a character he hasn't played in forever, is like, yeah, they were forgotten.
Right.
I don't really think Storm is a technically forgotten character. Yes, we haven't seen her on the big screen in a long time. But again, we have the James McAvoy version. I know there was a younger version of I'm sorry, I can't think of the actor's name right now who plays Storm in those series of movies. Yep. So she's not to me a forgotten character. So I just don't think it would have made sense in the movie.
And it technically wasn't a X-Men team up like Avengers kind of thing, right? Like to me this I guess if I could compare it to one of the Avengers movies, it would kind of be like the Civil War one where it was like, you know, but I feel like I mean, it'd be cool if they wanted to. Like, I don't know if that little teaser of him with Thor crying over him that he kept like dreaming about and everything like that. I don't know if that's like a thing that's happening in like a future movie or if they just did that for whatever. But I think it'd be cool to have at least like, if not another movie, like kind of X-Men focused with Deadpool and stuff like that, if they had an Avengers one where Wolverine and Deadpool show up and maybe a couple other X-Men, you know, that'd be kind of cool.
Right? It's like, again, I am not against Storm coming back. It was weird. Like I said, I was trying to read the article, but I just fucking, from what I understand is that she was like, I would love to come back, but nobody asked me.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. You know? So, and again, it's hard because you're reading words and not hearing the person's voice, because maybe she's like, yeah, if they asked me, I would totally. You know, like, that sounds great. Versus like, oh, they didn't ask me. Like, I can't believe, you know, like, it's all about, like, how you read into it, you know?
Right, yeah.
I know they have, I did get spoilers of, I I think it's the end of the Marvels movie, which I haven't watched yet. But I guess they tease an X-Men in that one.
Oh, really?
So they're slowly been teasing them because they finally are now, like, because Disney bought Fox. So, like, I think they're slowly, very slowly integrating them back. And I mean, fine. I just, like you said, I just want an X-Men movie.
Yeah.
They're my OGs. So again, I have a 100% bias, but I want them back. I want you back. I want you back.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool. And I loved the the clip or the clip where he's like Paradox is telling Deadpool that he has to come and join the Avengers kind of thing or whatever, and he's like, just excuse me a second, and he goes to the camera. He's like, fuck you, Fox, I'm going to Disneyland. That was funny.
Oh, so like yeah, there was so many good lines.
Yeah, I was confused partway through the movie because and also from the like trailers and stuff like that, because I was thinking that villain of this movie was Tilda Swinton's character from Doctor Strange. Because she kind of looks like her.
Yeah, I see where yeah.
Right? And then
Cassandra.
Yeah, Cassandra, yeah. Because they like obviously in the trailer they showed her, and then they showed like Doctor Strange's sparkly thing that happens.
Ring, yeah. This portal ring, yeah.
I was like, I think that's where I put 2 and 2 together, and I was like, oh, is that who she is? But it's Professor X's sister. So I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool.
Right? So yeah, it was very because there was him and then there was her. It was crazy. I will say I was thinking about that weird finger thing she did on people. Like, oh my god, that was. It takes me a lot to be like truly unsettled, and that unsettled me.
Oh, I know. There were times where I was like having to squint because my eyes were starting to water. I'm like, I can't.
You're like, no thanks. No thanks. Yeah, I think overall, yeah, love the movie, great time, but yeah, beginning was a little slow, but I get we had to make our classic stepping stones to make a story. But the rest of it was a great time. And yeah, I just wish, people could just leave things be sometimes, but nah, they can't.
Right.
But, I'm sure, because I think it's been a huge success, considering, like, it's funny how it used to be, like, every movie that came out was like, whoa, this one broke records, now this one, and now it's like, oh. Sometimes they're not doing so hot, but this one, luckily is doing really well, and I know it's now the top film that's rated R, even though I'm pretty sure in Canada it's probably only 14A, so
yeah,
that always confuses me, but whatever.
But still packing theaters. Like, the theater was packed when my dad and I went.
Damn.
And that was at 9 o'clock or 7 o'clock on a Saturday. Yeah.
Tis. But yeah, I'm excited because that was also Sean Levy? Yeah, as the director. So, and I mean, he also did Fall Guys with Ryan Reynolds. So, I'd be down to watch
Stranger Things.
Right? I'll be down to watch his next project with the boys, hopefully.
Right? Yeah, I quite like Sean Levy. I think he's a pretty decent director. And I like too, like, I'm assuming Hugh Jackman's always enjoyed playing Wolverine. Maybe he had his moments and stuff like that, but I don't know, there was something about his performance in this one where you could tell he was having a good time. Like, you could tell he was enjoying the whole thing. Yeah.
So I think he even said, like, he wanted back ever since the first Deadpool movie. He was like, yeah, I'm retiring. I'm like, Deadpool, and he's like, damn it. I want to be part of this. So
I would love to know too how much of the stunts they did themselves, because there was a lot of fight sequences between the two of them, and it did look a lot like it was them. So I'd be like, hats off to them if that was the case. Because
I think they were I don't know if it was the same Hot Ones interview, but I think another one. Yeah, I think Ryan Reynolds was talking about. He's like, in all seriousness, like, Hugh did almost all of his own stunts. Like, kudos to that man, So I think they did. I think they pulled their weight. They did good. They did very good. Yes. Applause. 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 We applause. We applause. But yeah, I guess that's all my thoughts for Deadpool and Wolverine. I can't wait for it to, come on streaming, or, maybe I'll venture out and even buy it on DVD. Crazy.
Oh, actually, one thing else we could talk about too, maybe if we but Channing Tatum's character, Gambit.
Oh, I can't believe we missed that. That was wild.
That was awesome, honestly.
Again, it was perfect because I remember like way back, I think it was in X-Men Origins, he was like down to play Gambit, and then I don't know what ended up happening, if it's just casting or whatever. I know he was a big advocate. He wanted to make a Gambit like solo movie. Yeah. And he's been trying very hard for, I think, well over a decade. Yeah. So having him be in it was very hilarious.
He did great. Like, I was trying to explain to my dad, because my dad was like, was he the Gambit in before? And then I, for whatever reason, I thought he was in the Origins movie, but it was Taylor Kidd.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, and so I was like trying to explain to him what you just said, and I think it'd be cool to have him play. Like, I don't know if a whole like standalone movie, but to bring
especially with
back
that accent, it was funny for the movie, but I don't think I could watch an entire film. And I mean, I think that was also the bit of it all, you know. Yeah. But like,
all I kept thinking was, "My name's Jeff."
My name's Jeff. Yeah, that was. I mean, like you said, that whole scene where like. I was gonna say Carmen Electra, but no. When
just Electra.
Jennifer Garner comes out, then Wesley Snipes, and then he comes out, and you know, X-23. I mean, like I said, I saw it in a small town theater. There wasn't a lot of people, but even when that scene came, like everybody was like, "No! Oh my god!" There was a lot of like gasps, even in that small environment, you know.
Yeah,
so
totally
big impact, no matter what theater size it was.
I was trying to recall too if Ryan Reynolds made a comment towards Wesley Snipes, because I know that Ryan Reynolds was in one of the Blade movies.
I think there was a joke about that.
I might have missed it, but yeah, I was like, oh, I wonder if he made a.
It was one of his more subtle ones, but I was like, gotcha there.
And I heard too that, like, I know everyone said that Blake Lively was Lady Deadpool, obviously, but apparently
I had no. I was like, what?
Yeah, and but apparently the kid Deadpool or whatever was his eldest daughter.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Why get actors when you can just make your family do it for free?
Right?
You're already spending millions on the project.
That was the whole point of filmmaking in the beginning, is to get your friends and your family involved and have a good time, right?
You don't have the kind of money, you know? Just come do it for free.
Right?
Help me out.
All I'll say is I'm looking forward to the cosplays coming out now after this, and for Halloween. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of Deadpool and Wolverines for Halloween. And Dogpools.
Oh my god. Dogpool. And then was it Nice Pool?
Nice Pool,
oh my god. Even I was like, oh my god. I was like, you body that douche very well. My god. My guy.
I'm just picturing, like, especially at Calgary Expo, there's probably going to be a lot of, like, Western Deadpools.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
It's always funny, you know, like the year, you know, all the Harley Quinns, the Jokers were out, you know. It's always funny, like, whatever's, like, popular, like, by Halloween, you're like, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, they're all out and a boot, but I'm excited to see it all.
Right? Definitely. Speaking of Joker and Harley Quinn, actually, that was the trailer that they played before.
Yes.
Deadpool Wolverine. What are your thoughts on it?
End thought. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'll be real honest. I don't know. I remember liking the first Joker movie, but I also feel like people took away the wrong message from the film.
Yeah.
So I am worried about that around a second go round, but it looks like Harley Quinn, she might not be. Like, maybe she was a psychiatrist, but it looks like she's also stuck in, like, the jail with Joker. Mm-hmm. So she already kind of has a checkered past, I guess. So I'll be definitely interested to see how they, obviously I'm very interested how Lady Gaga's going to portray the performance, but I am going to be interested in how they handle their relationship. I think especially because after like the last 10 years or so, they've been really like, hey, Joker and Harley Quinn's relationship is not good.
Yeah.
It is very, I don't want to use the word abusive, but it's kind of
Very
true.
toxic.
It is. Thank you. That's a much better word. It's a very toxic relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like, and maybe I'm crazy, I feel like in the last 10 years, like she's kind of had this growth as a character that I really like. And because before I was just like, oh, Harley Quinn is just there. But now I feel like I think like thanks to Margot Robbie and I really like the Harley Quinn show. I feel like they're really like fleshing out her character
own.
more. Yeah, and making her more of a strong woman.
Yeah.
That a character I actually really now like.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas before I was like, oh, she's just there. She's
Mm-hmm.
Joker's friend, girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
she's more than that. And I really like that. And they're especially like the Harley Quinn show, the whole first season is about her getting over Joker and like becoming her own person.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's my only worry going into this film, of like they might backpedal all this, amazing work she's been doing, but
Right.
or like everyone's been doing for her character. But again, I will save all my judgments until I actually see it.
That's fair.
So, yeah, there's a part of me that is, again, very curious, but a lot of me is very worried of how they're going to portray their relationship.
I feel like they tread a very fine line with, like, those movies. Again, we'll see what happens with the second one, but even the first one, too, like, a lot of it was, the main focus of it was, like, the mental health aspect and, like, just the power of the mind, and it definitely was a good character to, like, throw that onto, for sure, because then it kind of gave you more of an understanding into the mind of a psychopath, and like, oh, he's the Joker, and oh, here explains it all, kind of thing, right? But treading that very fine line of like explaining that within the world of a superhero character, it gets kind of blurry, I think, sometimes, which is why, again, if they can pull it off, hats off to them. But it's like, I think that's kind of why you keep like the superhero villain thing separate from like reality, and like when people like Christopher Nolan kind of start to like blend the two together, they have to do it in a way where it doesn't get hopefully too blurred, where we start getting the wrong idea,
Like I said, like the first film was good, and again, like you said, it shone a light on like all this shone a light? It didn't shone a light. It showed, I'm sorry.
Held a light up.
Thank you. It held a light to like all of these issues, but I feel like sometimes people still took away the wrong message. They're like, yes, anarchy. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
No. I guess everything's open to interpretation, but I think whatever kind of piece of media you make, I feel like you do have a responsibility to, hold yourself accountable, because someone could watch that and take away something totally wrong, and now you're like, well, shit.
Yep.
So, yeah, like I said, I do have a lot of concerns, but I will withhold them until I see the movie itself.
That's fair.
It will not hinder how my viewing experience, maybe. Yeah. But again, I don't know if it's a movie I'm willing to go see in theaters. But I think also because I am very lazy now. I'm just so lazy. I'm like, it'll be on a streaming service in a month. I'll just wait then, I guess.
Right? Yeah.
That's why I was like, I want it. Like, Deadpool and Wolverine was one of the few movies I think in a long time I was like, I want to see this in theaters. I want to go.
Yeah.
Exciting, and I think worth the trip to the cinema.
Definitely.
But yeah, I'm definitely curious how that movie's gonna go.
Yeah, I am very curious. It sounds like it's gonna be a musical too in some aspects. Not like a full-on musical, but it sounds like it's gonna have musical elements to it more than the first one. So
interesting. I like his little dream sequences that he had, kinda.
Kinda, yeah, I think so. Yeah, because there was a couple of shots there where it looked like they were like can kicking down the stairs kind of thing in like a performative way, and like doing like some kind of like very stagey Broadway type stuff. So
well, I mean, best. Then Lady Gaga is the best choice for that. Then.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, but like I said, we will see. We will
Yep.
see how it rolls.
No, I liked your point though about like how they're kind of like the direction they're trying to take with Harley Quinn, with Margot Robbie and the cartoon series and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it'll definitely be interesting to see where this kind of like goes in that direction with that character.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Oh. And I think that'll do it for today's episode.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I am currently very out of it. So out of it.
First day back, it's okay.
I know. First day back, always the hardest. Always the hardest. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching today's episode. It'll probably be a long one, but we appreciate you. Excuse me. We appreciate you. We thank you very much. And hopefully we'll be back for, a couple more episodes before the end of the year. Because, I was already thinking about it. Before you know it, we're going to be reviewing Hallmark films very soon.
Well, spooky month is just around the corner.
That's true, and we are going to promise to try to watch some more spooky movies. So,
Yep.
I don't know if we're going to do that full marathon challenge that we talked about, but we will see. We will see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Keep you up to date.
Yep.
But if you want to stay up to date, considering subscribing to Pretty Cool Gals, in my opinion. And if you liked today's episode, please leave us some comments down below. Seeing Deadpool and Wolverine, are you still invested in the Marvel Universe at all? Let us know down below, and considering leaving this video a little thumbs up. Just let us know you like it so much. You like our pretty faces. But yeah, that'll do it for today. Watch all the content, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Oh, Rocky. And slam. Ooh. Nap time for me.